Hey everyone, and welcome to Backseat Sports. I'm Josh. That is Caleb.
That's right.
And we're back in the same room once again, and today we are doing the Team of the Decade draft video. So how we're doing this, we want to do it a little bit differently than like other websites or media places or everything. So basically, I'm drafting a Team of the Decade. Caleb's drafting a Team of the Decade. We're competing against each other in a draft.
It'd be like a fantasy football draft, only one player per team.
What you guys are seeing here is kind of the base screen which we're going to be going off of and drafting off of. So we decided to give ourselves some default players for our teams. We thought it'd be a little bit boring to draft offensive linemen and just have like 10 extra picks of offensive linemen. So we're giving ourselves default offensive linemen: Alex Lewis, Spencer Long, Cole Pensick, Gerald Foster, and Jeremiah Searles.
Congratulations, you're the all-decade team.
Yes, congrats. Welcome to the squad. And then special teams, we got Alex Henry and the legend himself, Sam Foltz.
Yes, exactly. So also congrats to them for the all-decade team.
Of course. As you guys can see, the format is we're going off of QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then we're giving ourselves like a flex option, like a substitute, or like you could draft like a second running back or maybe even a fullback or something like that if you guys want. And then defensively, obviously D-line, 3 linebackers, 2 corners, 2 safeties, another flex option. It could be like a nickel back or something like that you could draft as well. So a little bit of flexibility. There's going to be 19 rounds where Caleb and I are going to go back and forth. There's really no like set strategy for how this is going to work. So it kind of makes it pretty interesting. Like, we really haven't talked about strategy at all, how we're going to approach this.
And you guys will vote who has the better team. Clearly it's going to be me.
Oh.
But we're going to choose who has the best team, who has the better all-decade Nebraska team. We're excited for this video. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll get to talk about some great Husker players, more than just the top 11 guys. Yeah,
that was the other thing. We wanted to do it more so like we could talk about 40 guys than just talking about the top, 22 or whatever. So.
Which a lot of you know anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, with that said, Caleb got the first pick here. We're doing a snake draft, so Caleb drafts, then I draft 2, then Caleb drafts 2. Then I draft, then it goes back and forth from there on out. So, Caleb, you're on the board first. You got the first pick. Take us away. Let's go.
Yeah, so this is a tough decision because there's a lot of different strategies to go at this. But for me, I think I'm just going to take the all-around best player to me of the decade just to build my team from there and worry about a little less, especially because it is a weak position for this decade. So I'm going to take Levonte David, number 1 overall.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is the worst position of the decade, like for Nebraska, for the most part, like looking at it.
Except for him. He was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few decent other options, but like,
it's definitely the weak.
I totally understand why you went that way. I'm on the board here with 2 picks. So again, the strategy is, it could go so many different ways here. Obviously, you want to take a combination of the best players and then like the positions that you think have the least amount of depth. I'm going to take Prince Amukamara, and I'm going to take Randy Gregory here. So I get the best D end of the decade, the best corner of the decade.
That's fair.
And I'm setting myself up for success.
Yeah, I mean, obviously those are 2 very nice picks. But
yes,
Prince,
they are.
Prince being the best cornerback. And
Lather me in praise.
I figured you'd take Prince. I was hoping to get Randy Gregory there, but that'll be just fine. He didn't take somebody I did really want because I didn't want to get stuck with some other players. So I'm going to take Taylor Martinez here right off the gate.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So Caleb's knocking out his quarterback early. So obviously I can basically boot the position back until like the last pick of the draft now. So it was like reaching on Taylor Martinez. It depends how big of a difference between like Taylor Martinez and the other QBs. But yeah, so okay, Taylor Martinez is 1. Who else you got?
This is tough. But I think after Taylor Martinez, I am going to take Nate Gary as my next pick.
Okay.
It was pretty tough because I was trying to think of the best next guy for defensively. And again, it's also filling the holes that I feel are a little bit weak. And I feel that Nate Gary and Levonte David is a pretty nasty combination as starters.
I'm surprised Nate Gary went off the board. I thought he might survive another round or 2. I'm kind of going like a similar like thought process. So one of the picks is just straight up talent. I'm going Rahmir Abdullah.
Okay.
Rahmir Abdullah with the 3rd pick. And then the 4th pick, I'm going to take the best player at this position as well, Jared Crick at D tackle. Okay. So I'm securing my running back and one of my D tackles off the rip pretty quick.
Josh fell right into my hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
right into my hands with this. I was planning on doing this later, but the fact that we have a flex spot is kind of interesting. So I cannot, not like with Josh with the quarterback, I can't just, wait around. So I'm going to have to take Rex Burkhead here.
Interesting.
Because I don't want him to have both Rahmir Abdullah and Rex Burkhead. That would be bad for me.
Yes.
But then another guy I'm going to have to take, which is why I wanted Rex more than Rahmir. is because I want Andy Janovich as well to have the nastiest run that I absolutely can. With Taylor Martinez, my option is unstoppable with all three of these guys. And, that was my choice.
All right.
This was my plan the whole time.
So, all right. Caleb's really loading up that offense. You know, he's already got 3 picks offensively. I've already got 3 picks defensively. And I think I'm going to stick with the defensive side of the ball here. So I think I'm going to go Malik Collins.
Ouch.
I'm going to take Malik Collins. My D-line is stacked right now, all right? And I'm going Stanley Jean-Baptiste.
Okay.
So I've got the 2 best corners, the 3 best D-linemen on my team right here. Stanley Jean-Baptiste and Malik Collins.
These were tough couple decisions for me since Josh took it. Malik Collins, who's definitely going to be, although Stanley Jean-Baptiste, while a good pick, I was kind of surprised with. And so that made me really...
You can't be hating on Stan, man. Stan was a beast. Second round pick, too. Although it didn't really work out in the NFL.
Yeah,
but
I mean...
He was a beast.
But, I mean, he really didn't play till, like, the last couple of years in the corner.
But when he played, he was freaking great.
I'm going to shore up my linebacker position.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna take Will Compton. This is a tough choice, but I'm gonna take JoJo Domann.
Really?
Yeah, Luke Gifford, while being great on my all-decade team, JoJo Domann wouldn't be underutilized, and he would play on the field.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
So,
I see how it is.
So that's who I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Will Compton, an all-around stud, and JoJo Domann.
Oh, interesting. That's really surprising. So I don't know. Caleb's picks put me in a weird position. He doesn't have to take any more linebackers. So I basically can just wait on my 3 linebackers till the end of the draft now. I haven't drafted a safety yet. So I'm going to draft 1 safety here. I'm going to take Damian Stafford. Fantastic safety. He was great when he played for Nebraska throughout his times. I really enjoyed Damian Stafford.
He was fun.
And I think I'm going to throw Caleb for a loop here. Because I'm going to use my flex spot. And I'm going to take Vincent Valentine.
I hate you.
Yes! Yes!
He's a fool.
I am creating that depth at D-line. My D-line will be fresh, insane, disgusting, and I'm using my flex on my defense for Vincent Valentine. You're on the board.
All right, so this is very interesting. Josh actually obviously put me in a pickle here because I'm now out of defensive tackle. So, but that means I can just literally hold that. Literally now, I thought I could hold Vincent Valentine till the end, but sadly that is not the case.
Right.
But my defense will adapt and overcome, as it is the best. And I'm going to take a safety here as well, because I want to shore up that on my other side. So I'm going to take Eric Hagg with that first pick.
Oh, he was so good, dude.
And then since Josh absolutely just wanted to mess with me, I'll mess with him on the linebacker spot. And I will take my linebacker as a flex to revive and refresh my linebacker spot, as he said. And I'm going to take Eric Martin, the machine.
Really?
Crazy man himself.
Well, he really fits the flex role.
He really does. Because he was amazing special teams. Insert decapitating hits here.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, these clips are amazing as he just destroys people. So I'm going to take him. He really can fit in a wide variety of roles for me. And he hits harder than anyone I know. So I'm very excited to have Eric Martin on my team.
All right, well, that puts me on the board. So, I mean, I thought for sure Caleb was going to take some wide receivers there because neither of us have any wide receivers yet, and we have to draft 3. So I'm going to double up on the wide receiver position here. I'm going to go Kenny Bell. Of course. I'm probably, a lot of people are probably like, yo, Kenny Bell. I'm sure people are saying Kenny Bell here. Kenny Bell, and I'm going to go Stanley Morgan. Pair up my wide receivers here. Feel good about that. I think it's a pretty nasty pair of wide receivers for the Huskers. So
I think the tough thing about the wide receivers is there's actually quite a few good ones for this decade.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where do you start with them, and I still feel good about
your options.
The options, even in the later. Yeah. So I feel like that's why I've been waiting, and probably why you've been waiting too.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the wide receivers off the board, I'm definitely obligated to take one at this point. And it's really hard because there's a lot of good guys left on the board, like I talked about. But I think I'm going to go with the sure-handed Jordan Westercamp.
Okay.
I feel with Taylor Martinez, this would be a very nice option.
Right.
And he can block, he can catch, he can do it all. And so I'm going to go with him. And I'm also going on the defense side as well. I still need some corners, so I'm going to take Alfonso Dennard. Great quarterback. I liked watching him play. He can hit pretty hard.
That was a good pick.
Yeah, so.
I thought about him for my flex. I thought about taking, snagging another corner for my flex. It was either him or Vincent Valentine. So, yeah, that makes sense. So, looking at the draft board here, I think I need to go wide receiver for sure. And then I might just go tight end as well. So I think with wide receiver, I'm going to go J.D. Spielman, the man himself, J.D. I think it shores up my receiving core. I'm sitting with Kenny Bell, Stanley, Morgan, and J.D. Spielman now. It doesn't matter who my quarterback is. He's going to be able to hit him. And that's all. They're going to be wide open constantly. And I think I'm going to go Ethan Carter at tight end to shore up that position. And it was one that Caleb didn't have either, so I thought it's next. Ethan Carter. And shore up that offense a little bit.
So, I did not think Josh was going to take tight end, as that was the weakest point of Nebraska football in this decade.
Yes.
Looking at the roster, did we think that any of the tight ends really deserve to be named in an all-decade team?
No.
Probably not. They're not very strong compared to probably a lot of other teams.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that Josh has all three filled, but he still has that flex spot, and he has already used it in the past to grab wide receivers, I think it'd be prudent for me to grab 2 wide receivers here. And since I'm a ground and pound, smash them up type of football anyway with my team on the offense, I'm going to take Quincy Enunwa and Niles Paul.
Oh, wow.
Big boy wide receivers.
Wow.
I want to be able to block Andy Janovitz and Rex Burkhead as they're smashing into people.
Yeah.
And so I feel that, although Kenny Bell is also a great blocking wide receiver too and is definitely missed.
Obviously.
But Quincy Enunwa and Niles Paul, I think, will make great additions to this team.
Well, the only position that we actually both need at this point is D-end. So I think I'm going to snag one of the D-ends here.
All right.
Based off of like everyone that we have left, there's not like a standout guy.
Nah.
But I think I'm gonna go Jason Ankara as my opposite side D-end. I think he was a solid player. Definitely did a good job while he was there at Nebraska, and feeling pretty good about that. Then I'm also going to fill up my flex role on offense, and I'm gonna take the next best running back in line, Roy Halou Jr. Of course, a fantastic back when he was playing.
300 yards, man.
Exactly. And I think he's going to be an incredible duo with my all-star offense and Amir Abdullah. So give me some Roy Halou.
My team is looking absolutely fantastic at this point and would surely kick the crap out of Josh's team.
Vote Team Josh.
My smash mouth football, my front four might not be fantastic. What's greater, 4 or 7? 7.
Okay, all right.
So I'm feeling pretty good. And with that, I'm going to shore up that by taking another cornerback here. I'm going to take Deshaun Gomes
Interesting.
as my cornerback. There's definitely a lot of guys here that were all kind of at that same level. But
I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, but I don't like Lamar Jackson as much as I like Deshaun Gomes.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Also, I need to take some defensive tackles and ends. Finally, I'll start working on that a little bit. So I'm going to take Cameron Meredith here as well.
Oh, okay. So I'm on the board. I don't have any linebackers yet, so I probably should take them at this point. It might be nice to have some linebackers. So
Nebraska wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about that in the past 5 years.
Well,
what are linebackers?
One.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little pair here. I'm going to take Luke Gifford and Zaire Anderson. So a decent pair. Nothing, no all-stars by any means, but a solid pair to fill in my linebacking core.
I guess at this point, I'll keep going with the defensive line.
Yep.
It just says Josh has ignored the linebacking core because I have scraped all the amazing talent.
Okay, all right.
I will do the same with the defensive line. I will reach at the bottom of the barrel for the best of the decade. So I'm gonna take Baker Steinkuhler for my defensive tackle, and then I'm gonna take Khalil Davis as a defensive end.
Okay. Best of luck. All right, so I got a few positions left to fill here. I've got safety and linebacker left to fill on defense. So I think I'm going to go P.J. Smith defensively, a little bit throwback. P.J. Smith action at safety. And then at linebacker, there's not that many great options left. I think I'm going to take Trevor Roach. So pretty solid. Trevor Roach and P.J. Smith.
All right, well, for my last pick on the defensive tackle side was kind of tough. Obviously, I wanted Vincent, but Josh took him. So that was kind of the play. So I'm going to have to take Darian Daniels as my final guy of the decade. He only played 1 season here, but he had a good season, so we'll go
Justify it. Okay, I see how it is.
But I'll go with it. My linebackers will clean up any mess.
Yeah. So then who's your tight end pick here?
There is one man who had the most touchdowns of a tight end this decade, and that is going to be on my team now, and that is Kyler Reed.
He had 8 of them in his sophomore season, and then did nothing after that.
But for me, rounds out just an all-star lineup.
Okay.
An all-star lineup that is far superior than my co-host.
Yes. So, I got the final pick of the draft. Obviously, there's only one position I don't have here. It's the glaring need of the team. It's quarterback. I have a lot of options here. Obviously, I could go Tanner Lee. I could go...
What a great... Do that! Everybody
Adrian
at home is
Martinez. I could go Tommy Armstrong. And I'm going to go Tommy. Tommy Armstrong is going to be my guy to round out the squad. I feel really good about this team. I think I'm in good shape. I mean, we got Tommy, Amir. This offense is stacked. The D-line, this defense as a whole is stacked. Team's nasty. Feeling really, really good. And vote Team Josh. That's all I'm really saying.
I mean, you don't have Ron Kellogg III to bail your quarterback out when your team starts losing. I mean, if you would have had him as your flex, it would have made more sense.
Oh, yeah. So you can click in the top corner, the little I, and that'll give you the poll. And you can go vote for my team because you're going up there to vote for my team.
My team.
As you guys can see on the screen, this is the teams, and we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yes.
Of course, drop all of your opinions down below about who got the best roster and who did the best in this draft. But as always, guys, of course, we appreciate seeing all your opinions and everything else.
Very much.
But as always, I'm Josh. That's Caleb. This has been Backseat Sports, and we'll see you next time. We out.